back to reality. Coming up next, we have STD Factory against Cleveland Synergy, both Div 2 teams.
Yep. Cleveland Synergy actually came down and practiced in Pittsburgh last weekend. So
oh, really?
Yeah, they're playing pretty well.
Okay. Now, when did they actually...
moved out there from Detroit to help set it up and design it.
So that's a full commitment.
Yeah.
That's kind of... Wow, signing your life over to paintball.
More or less. I mean, you
you.
kind of have to. You got to work within the industry. I mean, you play 15 tournaments a year.
Yeah.
It's hard to go to a regular job and explain to them what you do. And have
there aren't many regular jobs who would give you the time off to actually do it.
Exactly.
So, without a doubt. All right, we have Cleveland Synergy coming out of the player side, STD Factory coming out of the Fox end. So both these teams getting ready. First game of the day for them.
Yeah, the morning jitters right here.
STD Factory tied for 58th place at the last event. So I think it's safe to say that things can only get better for them.
It's definitely no fun being at the bottom.
So before the Phillies, who did you actually play for, Tim?
Detroit Thunder.
Okay.
Yep, and then Tip in Effect before that.
Wow. So some good progression.
Yep, a little bit. Detroit Thunder, I mean, eventually became Detroit Strange, and then had the opportunity to maybe stick around with the franchise, but the All-Americans
decided.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Good for you. Here we see teams getting ready.
You going to London?
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there. So it's non-stop.
Right.
Non-stop.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
We've had 3 months solid.
Yeah.
So
that's the worst. I love going to London except for the rain.
Yep. I see Cleveland Synergy losing one on the break. Making a big move up to that 35 temple. Both teams doing it at the same time.
Yeah, they got to try to find some way to get into snake.
Synergy losing their snake corner, which isn't going to help them.
And that's pretty much the worst body to lose. I mean,
yeah,
that's the guy that makes sure that even when you get into snake, you're not getting bunkered and shot in the neck. So if Synergy doesn't try to make any move to get over there, it's pretty much going to be game over.
Quite a lot of these teams seem content to just kind of sit there and wait for the other team to make mistakes.
I think a lot of people think they can just outgun battle each other, but once you're doing that, you're just throwing in the chance of luck.
I mean, in the AAs, is it a typical game plan to be as aggressive as you can?
Yeah, I mean, I think the All-Americans have always been a little bit more patient, but they've always gone out with the understanding that we need to take real estate, we got to get down the field. So, I mean, that's how most pro teams are. Maybe Strange 5 years ago was the only team that really sit back, but every pro team understands that you have to get down the field. So I don't see too many teams win anymore in 7-man or X-ball just by sitting. You know, work out so hard.
Do you have a preference between 7-man or X-ball?
I like X-ball. I'm not a big fan of the coaching, but I love the format, the fact that it's not so cutthroat. 7-man, you make one mistake, and sometimes that could be your tournament.
Of course.
Which, I mean, some people like that pressure, but in paintball, there's so much luck. And I like the fact that X-ball you can go back out and try to redeem yourself. Of course. So, but I still like 7. I like the fact that you got to outthink your opponent.
I think in both formats, the best team wins.
Yeah.
But it just comes about in different ways.
Right.
Now, we've got some good battles going on in both snakes. You can see it in the Fang. Players mutually eliminated.
Synergy's starting to get bodies now. They're taking a little bit of field, getting down the snake
yeah,
side.
Synergy taking back some control in that snake.
No one's looking that way.
Although STD. Whew.
Yeah, so that one guy pretty much won the whole game for him.
And there's that one mistake that you were talking
That's
about.
That's the one mistake.
You know, take your eyes off him and
that's it.
Although anything can happen with these refs. That's it. Just making sure. Have the paintball massage and take the walk.
Yeah. And you figure maybe that guy in the back center is protecting his snake guys, shoots that guy, and they're up on bodies, and maybe go down the snake, and that's it. But
now STD taking their time. You know, not quite sure if there's any Synergy players left.
Yeah, I've seen it happen a couple times. There's one guy left in the corner, comes out, shoots everybody.
Oh, the good old surprise.
That was a pretty good game, though.
It was. It was an entertaining game.
Yeah.
Thank you, STD. Now, one of the nice things I like about paintball is that anyone can play it. You don't have to be super athletic. Obviously, it's going to help if you are.
Right.
But you don't have to be a member of a gym, etc., etc.
No, most definitely.
You have
I mean, in the last 4 or 5 years, it's gone. You do need a little bit of athletic ability. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember 10-man. There were some people that.
Oh,
boy.
10-man. There's some people who
Yeah.
wouldn't move if there was a tornado.
Definitely. But I mean, the fun part about paintball is you don't have to go out there and hit somebody in the head and run around and be able to throw a ball. I mean, as long as you can communicate and shoot your gun, you got a spot somewhere.